NBA free agency starts tomorrow. As I'm making this video, today is Sunday. Tomorrow is Monday. Therefore, we got the free agent season kicking off. We just had the draft last Thursday, so everybody made their picks, whatnot. And the Sacramento Kings, surprisingly to me anyway, they picked a guard first round with the 9th pick, Davion Mitchell, right, from Butler. Now, this is where it really got interesting for me because I was of the mindset that the Kings would probably either trade for a guard and draft a big man, or maybe keep Buddy and, you know what I mean, and draft a big man or whatever. But they ended up picking a 6'1", pretty much combo guard. I mean, I guess he could play point, but he's pretty much a combo guard. Think Donovan Mitchell. And it's crazy because their games are so similar. Both D Mitchell, both wear 45 or whatever. So that's really interesting that they play so much alike. I don't know if Davion is like a fan of Donovan, but those guys play very, very similar. If you're not familiar with him, go check out his highlights and you'll see what I'm talking about. But I feel like looking at his highlights and just kind of looking at where we are as a franchise, I feel like he can start at the 2 guard position. So that leaves Buddy Hield out. And prior to that, Buddy was already in trade rumors, trade talks, and things like that. The first initial big trade that we all thought was going to go down was with the Lakers, right? It was Montrezl Harrell, Kuzma for Buddy Hield. And needless to say, if you watch my last video, that package went over to Washington for Russell Westbrook, right? So that package is no longer, on the table, right? So what's next for Buddy Hield? I have no clue. But I'm going to talk about what should be next for the Kings, right? Now, when it comes to college basketball, I got to admit, I'm more of a casual. During the college season, I'm more like NBA and NFL. That's what I'm watching. That's what's on my TV. And so I'm not really familiar with a lot of these guys. But when I went to go back and kind of look at the scouting report on Davion Mitchell, they're saying he's more of a defensive guard. And one of the guys that I was reading the article, he was saying that basically he is inconsistent with the scoring. He's only scored over 20 points 5 times over 30 games. But Baylor, I do know Baylor was a really good team, and they probably had a lot of guys who can put the ball in the basket. So I'm kind of taking that with a grain of salt. I do feel like he can score when I looked at the highlights. So I'm assuming Buddy Hield is gone, right? So we got Davion Mitchell, Tyrese Haliburton, De'Aaron Fox. Now you do need another guard in that rotation, but I'm assuming that there's not enough minutes for a guy like Buddy Hield, being that he's a veteran, he's used to starting, he's used to getting those 25, 30-plus minutes a night. And I just don't think that's going to happen now that we have Davion Mitchell. And I think the Kings are probably going to move forward, possibly starting Tyrese Haliburton at the 2nd guard spot, at the 2 guard spot. So if you're the Sacramento Kings, where does that leave you? So we did give up DeLon Wright, who was pretty much our backup point guard, and we just picked up Tristan Thompson. We acquired him in a 3-way trade. He's coming over from Boston, and I think that's a great pickup for the Kings because our interior defense was horrible. If you know anything about the Sacramento Kings, if you watched any games last season, you know we gave up a lot of points in the paint and a lot of rebounds in the paint. Tristan Thompson is going to help us in that regard. Now, he's not a prolific scorer or anything like that, but at the end of the day, I don't really think you need that from him right now. I don't think you need that from that position right now if you're the Sacramento Kings, because we have De'Aaron Fox, who's averaging over 20 points. I think Haliburton's scoring average is going to go up. And now you got Davion Mitchell, who looks like he could put the ball on the floor, create his own shot, and shoot the ball. He's going to be getting buckets. Now, I don't think we're finished, though. I think we need more as the roster fills out in the next coming weeks. What I would do is I would package up Buddy Hield and Bagley, or maybe Buddy Hield and Harrison Barnes, and acquire Pascal Siakam. When you look at Pascal Siakam, he fits perfectly like a puzzle piece with the Sacramento Kings roster as it's currently constructed. 6'9", could put the ball on the floor, create his own shot, rebound, play defense, block shots. He can shoot the 3. I mean, he's the wing that we need right now. That's pretty much all that we're missing. Yeah, I mean, we have Harrison Barnes right now at the wing, but I think we've gotten the most out of Harrison. I don't think we're going to get much more out of him, and he's getting older. Pascal Siakam, I feel like has upside, and I feel like if you surround him with the guards and the playmakers that we currently have right now on this roster, I feel like he's going to get even better. Kings need to go get Pascal Siakam in a trade. I think that's the next trade that Monty McNair needs to look at. I don't know what's going on right now with Buddy. Again, he was supposed to be a Laker. I know he's probably pissed off about that right now, but the Kings need to package up Buddy Hield, and they need to go get Pascal Siakam. Trust me, if you're not familiar, if you're just like a Kings fan or a casual basketball fan, go look up Pascal Siakam, look up his highlights, look up his stats. He fits perfectly with this team. That is the trade we need to make. When I look around the league, I don't see another trade that really fits us well. Right now, I feel like a Pascal Siakam could put us in the playoff hunt right now. De'Aaron Fox, Haliburton, Davion Mitchell, Pascal Siakam, neemias queta, Tristan Thompson, you know what I mean? I feel like that's a really good nucleus to start out this free agency season. Now, the next thing I would do is I would go get a guard like a Norman Powell. He could be your sixth man. He's a veteran. He helped the Toronto Raptors win a championship. You know what I'm saying? Really good player. He got traded to the Portland Trailblazers, but they were trying to make a playoff push. Didn't work out. He's now a free agent. I'm not sure what his asking price is, but I would love to bring a guy like that on. Veteran, two guard, who could play defense and he could score. And I think if you're giving up a guy like Buddy Hield, you're going to have to find and manufacture points in different ways in different areas. He would be great off the bench. He's somebody who can keep the pace going and keep the flow going for you when your starters are getting a rest. Knock on wood, but if anybody gets hurt, he could actually come in to fill in one of those guard spots and hold down the fort while your guys are getting healthy. I feel like a guy like Norman Powell should be next up on Monty McNair's list. So that's what I would do as far as the guard position. And I think at that point, we would have Davion Mitchell, De'Aaron Fox, Haliburton, Norman Powell, and maybe we can pick up. You probably need maybe one more. What do we have in Kyle Guy? Can he get some tick? Can he get some burn? Like, I liked what I saw from him last year. You know what I mean? When he was getting the few minutes that he had. So let's see what we have too on this roster. We might have some gems. You know what I mean? Because Kyle Guy, he could shoot. He could definitely shoot the ball. I feel like maybe he could be one of the guards. And right now, I feel like you're set right there. So Norman Powell, trade for Pascal Siakam. And I'm not gonna lie, the center that I wanted, there were two centers that I wanted before we drafted neemias queta and we traded for Tristan Thompson. I wanted Andre Drummond or Jared Allen. I feel like they would have been perfect for us. Jared Allen especially, like he's starting to get a jumper now. I saw him hitting threes out in Cleveland. And he is a great interior defender. Perfect for what we need, but I don't know if we're still looking at center at this point in time, unless they don't plan on really playing Queta this year. Maybe Queta is going to go down to the D League or the G League, whatever they call it now, and be in Stockton. So in that case, we would need another center, but I don't know. I don't know what the plans are, but if he's going to be like a developmental project, I would go get Jared Allen. As secondary, I would go get Andre Drummond for the center. Then you can have Tristan be your backup and whatnot. So I think that would be a great move as well. Marvin Bagley, I'm not sure what the value is for him. He doesn't want to be here. He took the Sacramento Kings out of his bio or whatever, and his dad been talking that he wants him out of here. They don't want to be here. I don't want anybody here that doesn't want to be here. I'm sure as Sacramento Kings fans, you guys don't want anybody here that does not want to be here. Let's get rid of him. I really don't know what to say about him because I don't know what the value is. I'm seeing a lot of a lot of people have been doing like the redrafts of the 2018 draft or whatever, and they don't even have him in the top 5. I think they had like Luka going first. They had Ayton going to us second. Trae Young staying at third, and I forgot who else was in that draft. Jaren Jackson, I think. But yeah, they don't even have him in the top 5 of that draft anymore. So like, I thought he had promise, but he can't stay healthy, doesn't want to be here. I don't feel like him and Luke Walton get along that great for whatever reasons. So I would just move off Marvin Bagley. I don't know what to do with him, but but as far as the moves and acquisitions that I think we need, if Queta is going to be a developmental project, I would get a meeting with Jared Allen and or Andre Drummond to be your starter. Have Tristan Thompson be your backup center. Trade for Pascal Siakam. Package up Buddy, maybe Bagley in that package, or Harrison Barnes. Go get Siakam and sign Norman Powell or guard like that who can come in in case you need somebody to kind of fill in, spark off your bench, 6-man, or if somebody gets hurt, get a guard that can come in and start right away. I feel like Norman Powell fits that to a T. So those are the moves I would make. Norman Powell, Pascal Siakam, Jared Allen, Andre Drummond, and I think you're on the way to the playoffs, man. I think that's a really good nucleus right there. I think you would have a really good chance to win ball games. A lot of those games that we lost, a lot of the close games that we lost during last season were because of lack of defense down the stretch. That changes completely. If you got Siakam and you got Jared Allen, Davion Mitchell, who's a defensive-minded guard, if you have those guys, that changes the landscape of a lot of those games that we were in last season, to where we just needed a stop and a bucket, you know what I mean? And now we would actually have that. So I think those are the perfect moves for the Sacramento Kings. I think those guys are all attainable. And hopefully Monte McNair is on the phone making those things happen. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm gonna make a part 2 to this video after free agency happens. We're gonna see all the moves that went down. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna see what the Kings did. We're gonna see what the Kings didn't do. And we're gonna go from there, man. I definitely appreciate you guys watching this video. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment what you think the Sacramento Kings need to do during this free agency period. And I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. I definitely am looking forward to seeing what's going on. I'm excited about next season, but the Kings gotta make the right moves.